What is going on YouTube? It is FlopFish here, and welcome to another NHL 16 tips and tricks video. Today we are going to be going over Passing 101. The passing system in NHL 16 has got a little bit of a revamp. Now, gone are the previous ways of kind of making passes at high speed or in a turn, and then being pretty much auto-locking onto your players. In fact, the auto-assist for passes has actually decreased quite a bit, and a cone of error has actually increased a little bit on them as well. In order to make a good pass in NHL 16, you have to meet some criteria, and those criteria are you have to be facing the player you want to pass to, or at least your stick has to be in the proper line. You have to be skating at a moderate speed. You can be skating at a high speed, but you just got to glide for a little bit. If I'm skating at a high speed, I like to glide for about half a second before I make my pass, and it really helps you settle the puck down a little bit, and it's just going to get the pass a little bit smoother. And finally, on top of all that, you want to make sure you're powering it up right. This is one of the hardest things to do when it's like this, because again, there's a lot less auto assist with the pass. There's a lot less passing assist right now, and so targeting the players is really dependent on the users now. And that's where you're going to want to use your right trigger to come into effect here. So your right trigger, the longer you hold it down for, the more you quote-unquote power up your pass. And by powering up your pass, what it does is it selects a target further up the ice for you. So for example, if you have a player right in front of you or a player further in front of you, if you power it up for longer, it'll go to the player in front of you. If you tap it, it'll go to the person close to you. And that's going to be one of the biggest keys figuring out passing. But also this year, ground passes along the ice are really easy to intercept. So this year's saucer passes will be more important than ever, and by doing a saucer pass, again, you're using the right bumper or R1. They're really effective, but they're more manual controlled than your right trigger pass. And again, they have a little bit more high rate of error, and a lot more user skill behind them. To do a proper saucer pass, you want to make sure you're aiming where the skater's actually going to end up and not where they are currently. Because if you go where they're going to currently be, especially in sixes, the puck's going to go behind them if they're skating. So that pass will actually miss. And it's the same actually with the right trigger passing too. And to recap once again on how to make a good pass in NHL 16, you have to meet the following 3 criteria. You have to make sure you're facing it in the proper manner. So for example, you want to make sure if you're on your backhand that you're going to be passing it to your backhand side, or if you're on your forehand, you're going to be passing it to your forehand side. Also, you can actually change your angle of the pass by tapping the left trigger or L2, and that'll actually change your direction of your player, and it kind of faces your teammates more. On top of that, you're going to want to make sure you're passing it to where they're actually going to be rather than where they are. That applies for both passes, just because if you're passing it behind them, well, it's going to go behind them and you're going to miss the pass. Powering up your pass is a little bit different too. The longer you hold down your right trigger, the further target away it'll actually target for your pass, and it'll pass it to. And finally, you must make sure you're actually skating at a moderate speed. Like if you're skating really quickly, like if you're hustling down the ice, you want to make sure you go into a little bit of a glide beforehand. And right here, you're just going to see a little bit of a glide before a backhand pass, and it gets there, and it's in the back of the net. So anyways, that's the key to make a good pass in NHL 16. Hopefully this video helps you guys out. If you enjoyed the video, a rating is very much appreciated. As always, take it easy, and I'll catch you guys on the flop side.